In the early months of 2011, the Arab Spring ignited a series of uprisings across the Middle East and North Africa, toppling regimes and altering the geopolitical landscape. Among these uprisings was the First Libyan Civil War, a brutal conflict that pitted Muammar Gaddafi's forces against a coalition of rebels determined to end his 42-year rule. Among the many battles fought during this tumultuous time, the Battle of Bayda stood out for its intensity and the remarkable courage displayed by those involved. Bayda, a city in eastern Libya, became a strategic focal point early in the conflict. It was a place of stunning natural beauty, perched on the edge of the Green Mountain Range, but in February 2011, its streets echoed with the sounds of gunfire and the cries of a people desperate for freedom. The city's strategic location made it a vital target for both Gaddafi's loyalists and the rebel forces. On a cold, crisp morning, the city awoke to the rumble of military vehicles approaching from the west. Gaddafi's forces, known for their ruthless tactics, aimed to crush the burgeoning rebellion and reclaim Bayda. The local rebels, a mix of defected soldiers, ordinary citizens, and tribal fighters, knew they faced a formidable enemy. Yet, they were determined to defend their homes. The heart of the rebel defense was a small, makeshift command center in a dilapidated building near the city's main square. Inside, a diverse group of leaders strategized. Among them was Ahmed, a former Libyan army captain who had defected early in the uprising. His knowledge of military tactics was invaluable, and he quickly became a central figure in the resistance. Ahmed peered at the crude map spread across a wooden table. "We must hold the main road into the city," he said, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "If they break through there, Bayda will fall." Fatima, a young woman who had emerged as a fearless fighter, nodded. "We have snipers positioned in the buildings overlooking the road. We'll slow them down." As the sun climbed higher, the first shots rang out. Gaddafi's forces launched a ferocious assault, their heavy artillery tearing through the city's defenses. Rebel fighters, armed with a mix of rifles, makeshift weapons, and captured military gear, returned fire. The air was thick with smoke and the acrid smell of gunpowder. In the midst of the chaos, Ahmed moved among his fighters, shouting orders and encouragement. Fatima, her face smeared with dirt and determination, took up position with a sniper rifle, her sharp eyes scanning for targets. Each shot she took was precise, a testament to her skill and resolve. Hours passed, and the battle showed no signs of abating. The rebels fought fiercely, using their intimate knowledge of the city's layout to their advantage. They ambushed enemy troops in narrow alleys, set traps in abandoned buildings, and launched surprise attacks from hidden positions. As night fell, both sides were exhausted, but the fighting continued. The city's power grid had been knocked out, plunging Bayda into darkness. The only light came from sporadic gunfire and the occasional explosion. In the command center, Ahmed and his team huddled, planning their next move. "We need to cut off the supply lines," Ahmed said. "If we can hold them off until morning, we might have a chance." Fatima, ever the pragmatist, spoke up. "We have a small window before they regroup. We need to strike now under the cover of darkness." The plan was risky, but there was no alternative. Under the cloak of night, a small team of rebels, led by Ahmed and Fatima, slipped out of the city. Their objective? A supply convoy parked on the outskirts, guarded by a detachment of Gaddafi's troops. Moving silently through the shadows, the rebels approached the convoy. Every step was fraught with danger, their hearts pounding with the knowledge that discovery meant certain death. As they neared the vehicles, Ahmed signaled to his team. In a coordinated strike, they opened fire, catching the guards off guard. The firefight was brief but intense. When the smoke cleared, the convoy was in rebel hands. Back in Bayda, the rebels felt a surge of hope as they watched the supply trucks roll into the city. Fresh ammunition and medical supplies revitalized the weary fighters. As dawn broke, the tide of battle began to turn. Bolstered by their nighttime success, the rebels launched a renewed offensive. Gaddafi's forces, now cut off and demoralized, began to falter. By midday, the sounds of battle gradually subsided. The once unyielding loyalist troops started retreating, their will to fight broken. The streets of Bayda, scarred and battered, fell silent. The Battle of Bayda had been won, But the cost was high. The city lay in ruins, and many brave souls had fallen. Ahmed and Fatima, their faces etched with exhaustion and grief, stood amidst the rubble, contemplating the road ahead. The victory was but a small part of a larger struggle that would continue to rage across Libya. Yet, the story of Bayda became a beacon of hope, a testament to the courage and resilience of those who fought for their freedom. The city's defenders had shown that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of resistance could not be extinguished. And so, the tale of the Battle of Bayda spread, inspiring others to take up the fight for a future free from tyranny. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe to receive notification when we drop new content.